situations, like examples, the real-time, you have solved the real-time problems using Maple syntax tree approach?
For example, if I would like to say, like finding out the root of an equation which comes in any of the system, easily just by writing one word, you will be getting the solution. Otherwise, if you want to do it by a C program or any other method, it takes a longer period to do it. Similarly, when comes to a little bit higher end, I can say that solving a partial differential equation, or it may be adding differential equation, just you need not to write anything, just whatever the equation you can try to look at in the paper or in any field, if you come across, directly you can import that one without any modification, and easily you can find the solution there. It will be given what type of conditions, where it has to be given, and what are the parameters which is involved in the system. Directly everything you can just write it, and there is no missing there also, because whatever the like variables you are using in solving the problem, there itself it gives, okay, these are the parameters, you need to give the data. For that data, it gives a solution. Whereas in the other, it will not be given such type of commands. It will simply, like when you are using MATLAB or Mathematica, there you have to define that one at the beginning itself before going to the final expression, like solve this differential equation, where whatever the parameters or the variables which are given in the differential equation, everything you need to define by yourself, and afterwards you need to execute. Whereas in the Maple, it is not like that. When you are given the differential equation or anything, automatically it displays these are the variable data you need to specify. Then what happens? There is no missing. Directly you can find the things, and easily a person can understand, and better way it is you can find things like that. That is the one thing we can think about. And coming to the Maple Sim or anything, easily you can import some of the things, and you can connect what are the input parameters are there, and how this input parameter which will be going for the outcome for that item component, and how this can be fed to the next process, so that a connectivity also will be seen very comfortably. But that such type of things are not seen in some other software. That is the one thing I observed. And plotting the graphs, or it may be for variation of any parameter, is also very easy to understand. That is some of the things. Let us see Giri sir, what he can say. Later we can think about.
So I too agree with Dinesh. So really it is user friendly. But one thing what I observed, so while come to curve fitting, in curve fitting also syntax tree option is there to fit the curve for different options. But come to non-linear equation via using least square approximation, it has not been provided. And there we have to choose the values for, coefficients. But it has to take automatically. Then it's going to be very easy. Otherwise, up to the convergence, we have to feed the values. It is not going to choose the values. We have to feed the values for the convergence. So it's going to be very difficult task, because we don't know whether it is negative or positive or fractional one or whole number. It is not possible to predict. So randomly, blindly, we have to choose the values. But the curve fitting option is very good in Maple. It's very good in Maple. And one more thing, what I observed, a spectral collocation method. Spectral collocation method is one of the best tool worldwide. The people are using that method to solve differential equation. But in Maple, they have given the option in ODE analyzer, especially for non-linear ordinary differential equation. Already I told you, for partial differential equation, it is not provided. Yes. My suggestion, my observation is, so provide the spectral collocation method. Spectral collocation method, one option. You have to give another options, like using Chebyshev polynomial, or using Hermite polynomial, or using Bessel polynomial. So you have to give the option. So then the researchers going to opt spectral collocation method with Chebyshev polynomial. You can find the solution. Spectral collocation method using Hermite polynomial, you can solve the differential equation like that. So there is an option. So you can provide.
Right. Thank
So,
you.
That is also,
yeah.
as sir was already pointed out on the curve fit. Like there is no software which will take care. I am saying to Naida Madam also, because that is the thing you can take it up as a challenging thing, because no other software which provides a non-linear fitment for the given data. When many input parameters are there, where output is also maybe one or it may be many, then what is the relation which can be fit between the input and the output? Because whatever the software it is nowadays, sir.
Dinesh, non-linear is there. Non-linear means only for regular polynomial.
Exactly. That,
Every
I was coming to that, sir. I was
not in,
coming to that.
not in the form of
Exactly.
a into e power x plus some log x like
Nothing,
that.
nothing.
For
No,
some,
no.
I mean, special functions.
Yes,
For
sir.
them, I mean, it is not provided in any software.
Exactly. That's the thing I was supposed to say, sir.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
because many other softwares where statistical packages are there, where they will try to give, like for example, when you have a set of data, set points for a many input parameter and output, it gives only a simple non-linear polynomial fit, it will be done. But as per the requirement, and some of the software, what it does, it removes the set of data to match with the given whatever the option it is given, that only it will collect, but not for the best fit. That is the thing it is observed. No software it gives the solution, or nobody knows also. But I can tell you that there is a method we are developed from our team, where it can be an empirical formula kind of thing we can develop for the input parameter and the output. Therefore, if that can be as a one more tool, or I can say that method can be implemented in the Maple software, it definitely it attracts many people, and for an industry or for any researcher, that is a mandate, because without experiment you cannot do anything, and from the experiment only you will be getting the lot of data set points. If we can able to replicate the practical experimental data using only a simple a mathematical tool which can be established, then there is nothing like more than that. Therefore, such type of I can say implementation can be put in Maple, and I can give that idea for you people. That is a patent work, so that I can share it to you people. Like if the team, if it is works for that, and from my side also, I am trying to develop a GUI kind of thing where that implemented directly to that, and the user can give what are the number of input parameters are there, how many output parameter is there, then what is the relation we can develop between the output and the input, we can decide, and all statistical analysis components can be understood for that system. It may be optimization or it may be statistical analysis we can think about. That is the one thing I can try to say. From your team, if any technical developers, if can help us in that direction, definitely it can work. That is the one thing I can tell you.
Thank you, Professor.
One more thing, so I want to share,
Yes.
and it's very happy to share that. So in my department, so we faculty members are working with different specializations like differential geometry, I mean number theory, contact manifolds, and Finsler geometry and fluid mechanics. I observed, so only one software work for all these specializations. I mean all the people working on Maple only. Maple give the solution for all kind of people like contact geometry, Finsler geometry, and even fluid mechanics, even number theory and all those things. But so nowhere I observed, so they have not used like Mathematica and MATLAB and other softwares. But Maple gives the solution to all of us. And that is one of the happy thing to say you.
Nice, sir. That is correct.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, professors. Due to time constraint, we'll take a last question here, though I have a lot of questions to ask entire panel. So here, this question is, this is for the Maple and its features. How is this helpful to professors and students as well to explore mathematical concepts? I would start here with Nadia. Nadia, you've developed the product now. Just share your thoughts here.
Sure. So thanks a lot. I mean, first of all, I'd like to say that I'm really glad to hear those feedback from those two professors, because this makes me happy and thinks that like we are in the right direction when we develop Maple. And the thing that we've been trying to do at every release and since years in Maple is not to just give a calculation tool. Like as you mentioned, what we are trying to do is a tool that helps students to learn a concept, not just get a result. So then they can think about the problem that they are trying to solve, the methodology that they need to use, like all the things. Like the idea behind Maple is really to provide a teaching and learning tool, not just a computational tool, I would say. And that's why we've implemented all those features like the ODE analyzer, interface, all the context panel, the visualization also, this, which is, I mean, a lot of people don't realize it, but when students are learning something, having something to visualize, a plot with like a point, an intersection, something, like for them, it talks honestly 10 times better than just having 10 lines of calculation on a whiteboard. And this is something actually that we try to make as available as possible in Maple.
As I told you, madam, please try to incorporate a statistical, an empirical formula which can be developed for every type of experiment where that is not there in any of the software. If such a type it is included in the Maple platform, it will be helpful for the entire fraternity of the researchers or industry or anything like that.
So one question I had is how Maple Toolbox can be helpful in doing syntax-free calculations. So we have Maple Toolbox.
So especially in ODE analyzer. In ODE analyzer, we can solve any kind of differentially non-linear or linear, homogeneous or whatever the thing. Okay, you can solve the differential equation without writing a single sentence, just by feeding the derivatives, whatever the derivatives exist in the differential equation, and by providing the boundary conditions or initial conditions. Easily we can find the, either if you want numerical solution, you can find the numerical solution. There you have a specification which method you are going to adapt, whether it is Newton-Raphson method, for the Simpson to apply Simpson rule. So, and also to shoot the initial condition, we are going to adapt shooting method. There will be an option. You can choose trapezoidal rule or Newton-Raphson method or secant method. Like that, it's going to ask. That is one of the very beautiful approach in Maple, what I found. And also curve fitting. Well, come to curve fitting, you can fit any kind of curve except transcendental functions. Except transcendental function, you can fit any kind of curve simply by providing the coefficients. Without writing a single sentence, you can find and also plot the graph. It's very beautiful. It may be 2D or it may be 3D or it may be animation. Okay, and also for polar coordinates, it's a very beautiful software we are going to use. And also, they are just pre-built graphical tools. Okay, using pre-built graphical tools, we can perform all these things. It is my opinion. Dinesh.
Yeah. Hello. Coming to me, as sir pointed out about the solution part in the ODE and PD, also some of the things we can try to look at, or it may be a tracing of curves for the Cartesian, or it may be
only linear partial differential equations.
Yes,
but non-linear they have not provided.
Yeah. That's why curve fit, if it is there, or it may be plotting the curves for a student, or it may be for anybody. In other software, what happens? We need to use the transformation. Whereas here we can specify and directly we can go for the solution part. That is one thing. Better way we can visualize and easily we can, without writing any code, directly we can obtain the solution or the graphical representation of the things. That is the one thing we can do. And in future, if it is required, because simply saying only the positive things will never end up with the things. Negative points also we should identify.
Yeah.
That's why some of the things I specified.
Then only it is possible to improve.
Yes. Different versions you can think about, sir.
Yeah.
Therefore, to think about in the future, what is the implementation you can think about as the demand which is coming from the industry, or it may be a research, or it may be a student. I would like to know that if any type of a CAD design, if it is written for a complex geometry, if it is implemented directly and depending on the different boundaries, is it possible to find the solution? Like some of the software it is trying to do, Maple, it is not doing like that. Therefore, if it is implemented, such kind of like a linkage between the like a design as well as the conditions, then it will be helpful for the industry. And the second point is for the researcher when it comes to the things. When we are trying to, as from the mathematics side point of view, is it possible for you to compute? Like when I try to go with the problems pertaining to the bio modeling or biomechanical problems, where complex geometries will be there. If it is directly can give the solution by specifying the input and the output conditions, if it is can be solved independently without going for much of the data feeding, then it becomes very easy. Because now the present era, what the demand is that we cannot, as I mentioned you in the beginning itself, we don't have the time for prolonging giving the solution for after 1 or 2 months or 3 months. It is a time bound will be there. If the problem is posed to us, we have to give the solution within a few days, not months. Therefore, there should be a facilitate should be there from the Maple team, like giving an option, a open challenging problems, asking from the user if any challenging problem is there, it can be posed to the team, and directly they can give any persons who are working in that field, they can give the solution. Or other way also we can try to look at in point of students, like some of the complicated problems which are faced by the industry or it may be researcher, it can be posed to the young mind people, so that if they come across or if they give some solution, because they are the people who can think much more than us. That is today's demand.
What would you like to say about ease of solving problems of mathematics subjects like linear algebra, differential equation, vectors, etc.? So, yeah.
Yeah, so your toolbox, there is a specified, option is there to carry out linear algebra, like for matrix multiplication, for vector multiplication, or to find the modulus, to find the whatever the thing, to study vector analysis as well as linear algebra. So you have provided one option in your toolbox.
It need not be only the multiplication or anything. Inverse is
everything. All options with all options are provided.
Just you have to go to the top
in toolbox.
The toolbox, then you can find it, all these things.
So here, just wanted to know, so how syntax-free use of Maple can help in doing future research, in various mathematics subjects?
That is the thing I said. Like when we are facing some problems in real time of challenging problems, which comes under any industries or it may be in a research, that can be posed in there should be a platform, or there should be an option in the Maple stating what type of problems you are facing, is there any solution like that. If we can pose that one directly to the open platform, then it becomes a very challenging thing, and everybody will appreciate. And if anybody gives a solution for such type of problems, it will be useful. That is one way we can think about. There should be appreciation from the Maple team, saying that okay, they are done some work, and it may be, as I told you, certificate, or it may be an incentive, or it may be they can like get these people in future in their company, actually, I can say, because we will not be knowing who is good, who is bad.
Yeah. Actually, one thing,
marks. Yeah.
One thing, Dinesh. One thing, Dinesh.
Please.
If you are going to solve the differential equation using finite difference method, it's going to take, discretize the differential equation into system of algebraic equations. Once they reduce to system of algebraic equations, surely they are in the form of matrix. If the number of rows and columns are more, then so it is very difficult. It's going to take much time. It may be 1 hour, it may be half an hour, it may be 5 minutes, 10 minutes to run the program. But if it is syntax free, already a superior program is built in your software, then it's going to be very easy. In our department, one of our students dealing with differential geometry, so the computer, ordinary computer is going to take minimum 10 to 11 hours to run a program. But in Apple, it's going to take up to 6 hours. So in Maple only, so they are using Maple programming. But if you are going to provide a efficient method in Maple itself, surely the time will reduce.
There should be some technique, alternative technique we have to find it. Yeah, that is the thing, sir. If they pose, because we will not be knowing what type of problems are there, the different people are facing. If it comes to in an open platform, then definitely some other people can highlight on that, or they can give some alternative methods or technique. So
if they want, so I will send the problems.
Yes, sir. Please.
If they want, so I will mail the problems.
Yeah. So from the Maple team, if anybody, Snyder madam or any other person, if they can say something about this, there should be an option given for the people to upload their requirement or their difficulties, so that it can be given to any of the people who are working continuously in the Maple, so that or any other people as an indication. Just by giving an alert kind of thing, it can be sent to the people so that it will be easy to understand and to give the solution.
Yeah, I really like this idea actually about like building an online platform for researcher, because we already have what we call Maple Prime, which is the online forum, but Maple Prime is more, I would say, lower level, just people doing like simple thing with Maple. But I'm thinking about the idea of building a platform purely for researcher, and as you say, like a bit like an open search type of platform, where every time he's asking a question on differential equation, vector calculus, then the professor get an alert and they can exchange. So basically clickable math, syntax free, using the context panel. So number one thing that is new in Maple 2023 is that now you can build an exploration from the plot builder. So let's say you're in class and you have this mathematical expression that will generate a signal, and you want to show to the student how changing the value of A will change the value of your plot. What you have to do is simply have your expression, click on plot builder. So it's gonna generate a 3D plot. And you see here, I have now the option of exploration. When I click on exploration, I can still customize my plot and change the color, change the type of plot if I want a point plot. But now I have a parameter, so A, that I can customize. So I can select the value of A. Let's say I want A to be purely positive and start it by 0. The object, so slider. And when I click on build exploration, now I have my plot, but I have also an exploration. So that way the student can visualize the plot and also change a parameter to see how it changes actually the plot of this expression. And just so you know, this works for all type of plot. So for example, here I have two different functions, cosinus of A multiplied by T and sinus of B multiplied by T. I can simply click on plot builder, and I'm gonna have the opportunity to once again build an exploration. So I'm gonna click on exploration here. And let's say what I want to do, what I want to do is build a polar plot. So polar plot. And I can once again customize my plot. So select my plot variable, change the color if I want to change the color, and then change my parameter, and just click on build exploration. Now you see I have two parameters, so A and B.
Please.
And maybe I should have chosen a different colors, but you can see that when I change the value of B, it changed the plot of cosinus of B multiplied by T, and the same for A. And this works for last one example for 3D plot, because as I was saying, 3D plot visualization, it's really important for the student to see a bit actually what is behind the concept. So something I can select my variable, my parameter is A, I can make it go up to 30 if I want, and then click on build exploration. Now I have an exploration. And even when I change the value of A, you see that the student can see actually how it impacts the plot. And all of that with like just a click. I didn't enter any command. I mean, this was entered automatically, and the student can build, and the teacher also can build an exploration. So this is something that is new. Another thing actually that I think is quite great to show to this audience, because we've been talking about Maple being a learning and teaching tool, not just a calculation tool. So I just want to show some feature that we keep improving every year in the toolbox. So the student toolbox that everybody has access to when you have Maple. What we are doing is every year we try to implement more solution steps. So let's say the student has this differential derivative to calculate. So you could simply click on enter and have the result. So, I mean, I'm gonna click on enter. You see that now I have the result, but nothing tells me what happened behind this original expression and this result. So the new thing about Maple in Maple is now when the student has this expression, he's gonna go into his context panel, look for student calculus 1, so his toolbox. So you can see that he can find the tutors that we've discussed previously, the differential rule, but he can also simply click on all solution steps. And now what is gonna happen is that Maple is gonna show him how to solve this problem step by step, exactly the way a teacher would explain it actually on a black. But just to see the idea actually behind those steps is you can see that we have explanation. So step 5, apply the product rule, a reminder of what is the rules, and then after the result after applying this rule. So really, once again, when you go into help here, you can see that the student has access to study guide here. So when he clicks here, he has the study guide that has been developed by our developer, basically. So when the student goes here, he goes, okay, pre-calculus. So this is basically the content that is the curriculum from Canada. So it has like the introduction, the chapters. So you see it has like all the things like okay, I'm just gonna finish by showing one of the last feature after showing the steps is actually this one is more for the teachers. It's a quiz builder. So in 2023, now the teacher, when they execute this command, so quiz builder in the grading package, they're gonna have access to this. So, I mean, a lot of teachers, they don't want to do programming, coding, or anything in Maple. So what we wanted to do is give them the ability to generate a quiz just with Maple. So let's say the teacher wants his student to practice integration. So you go into choose sample, click integration multi-line feedback. So all the code will be written for him. So he doesn't need to know how to write a procedure in Maple. And then he can click to publish the quiz. So you can click to publish the quiz in Maple. So if I click generate the question in Maple, then I have press execution. Now I have my quiz within Maple directly. So now the student can solve his integral. I'm not gonna solve, I'm gonna try to make it right actually, because sometimes I make mistake on purpose, but let's say he put his result. Then the student click check his answer. Then Maple will say, no, check this step, this is wrong. So you can continue try to find the solution. If he's stuck, you can click on show the solution. And it's gonna have the solution steps as I mentioned previously with the rules. And then once he understood the concept, he just click on try another. And you can see that now it has a new exercise. and he can practice that way. The great thing about that is that the teacher can also share this exercise, this quiz online. So if you click on publish to Maple Learn, what is going to happen is that it's going to have a web link. So if I click on this web link, that it can then share with the student, and it's going to be into the online version of Maple, and the student can then play with the quiz once again at home. So you can solve the quiz step by step. I'm going to do some mistake on purpose. Let's say I do that, and then I click again. I do 9 multiplied by 2. So let's say the student did that, click check the answer. There's gonna be a mistake, check this step. So you can show the solution and everything as it was into Maple, but now online. So this is really something that we wanted to make as accessible as possible. So basically to give the opportunity to the teacher to generate some quiz just by using actually this plot builder. And you have a lot of different type of quiz. So this is a quiz about function, where when he needs to plot, so what is the plot of sinus of x? The student needs to go look at it and find the right function, and exactly the same thing. So I hope I know that we are limited in time, so I'm gonna stop here, but like feel free to check actually our webpage and the webinars. We've done a lot of live webinar about the new feature in Maple 2023. And if you'd like more detail about it, whether you already have a Maple license or not, feel free to reach out to Binary, to our colleague in Binary, and I'd be happy to connect with anyone to discuss any of those features in more detail.